Hey guys, what's going on? This is part two to a video that I made a couple weeks ago. In Black Ops 4 multiplayer, it looks like they put some Tranzit Easter eggs that I guess a lot of people haven't noticed, but I kind of picked up on it, and I've been finding more and more things in the multiplayer maps. So this is kind of, I'm going to say, like part two to the whole series. There should be a part three because I think I found some more stuff. But just for the sake of time, I'm just gonna make this video for the recent stuff that I found, and then actually start finding more stuff. So I'm just gonna recap what was in video one. These kind of like danger, caution, skull and bone signs, they're in transit. They're actually in Black Ops 4's jungle map, multiplayer jungle map it's called. And people might say, well, that's not really like an Easter egg, it might just be coincidence or whatever. But if you look in Black Ops 1, it looks totally different. So if they were remaking Jungle, which is a Black Ops 1 map, I believe that these would have looked more like the Black Ops 1 version, which is black and white and red, whereas the Transit one is yellow and black, and then the skull and bones with the yellow exclamation points. So that was the first thing that I found, and I didn't think that was a big deal. I did make a video. The only other thing on Jungle, the Black Ops 4 remaster, there are some boots that look like Misty's boots, so I'll link that video so you can go check it out. I think I go into more depth because this video isn't about that, it's about the new stuff that I found. And like I said, this is the Black Ops 1 version of Jungle and what these signs should be looking like in Black Ops 4. So anyways, these trucks are in transit, and these are a screenshot from transit. They're pretty iconic, and they're pretty scattered all over transit. There's a lot of these all over transit. And here's another version, kind of like more in the mist part of it. Plus I think I might have got hit with a flaming zombie, so that's why it looks really blurry. So anyways, that's transit. And then in multiplayer militia map, I think it's called, those trucks are also in there. I'm sure they're remastered and it's gonna look a little bit different. It's not gonna look 100%, but for them to use the exact same color and everything is pretty convincing to me. You can even see, I'll use my mouse, like in the front right here, that's exactly the same as the front here. Obviously it's remastered. I mean, the lights, the lights are a little bit different, so it looks like they kind of hit it. And it reminds me of an interview that Jason Blundell did, where he said his favorite Easter eggs, because somebody asked him in an interview what his favorite Easter eggs are to put in zombies, or I guess in Black Ops. He says it's the ones that are obvious, that are right in front of people and they walk by it like a million times and people don't notice it. So this reminded me that this would be one of those type of Easter eggs where like it's in plain sight. And the funny part is, I guess he knows, or they know, that zombie players don't play multiplayer a lot. I mean, other than me, I don't even know who plays multiplayer that plays zombies. I know some of them test it. Some of them actually admit that they're not good at multiplayer, so they just stay away from it. But it's pretty a nice little find, I guess. Pretty funny that he put that in there. And then there's another map, and of course I forget what map it is. I'll have to put it in the comment. That this reminded me of the Avogadro. Of course it's gonna look different, and I know he doesn't have the brain, but you got to keep in mind, I guess this might be like a remastered version. Maybe they decided to add to it. And this definitely, I'm not saying this one, I say for last because it's a little bit like I'm not totally convinced. I didn't really convince myself, because this is a screenshot I took from Google, or a picture, and it reminded me of it. I know this is kind of like a last gen graphics, and it looks kind of low budget and not the greatest, and this to me looks like it would be like an updated remastered 4K version almost. And this is also in the multiplayer maps. And like I said, keep in mind The only other thing, actually, if I'm going back to Militia, because it looks like Militia has the most stuff, and I'll have to make another video after this. It looks like Militia has some case, like suitcases almost, or boxes, or metal boxes that looks like they're from Transit. And then the church also looks like the church from Transit, but that I'm not 100% convinced, and I don't want to make it look like I'm pulling straws or whatever it's called. But this was just a new one that I kind of figure I'll throw in here, make show people. I mean, that's 100% convincing to me. It slightly changed, but like I said, it's just maybe an Easter egg, maybe the hint. Or it could be like a reused asset, like they made Transit and they said, hey, let's put, instead of making new trucks, let's just use the Transit one, because they've also said that that now it's kind of like zombies is the main focus, and whatever leftover assets they'll use for multiplayer, whereas in the original World at War in Black Ops 1, that it was the opposite, where zombies got the reused assets from multiplayer, but now zombies is so popular that they're making multiplayer maps from the unused or reused assets, whatever, from zombies. So that to me looks 100% like the Transit truck. And like I said, this one I'm not 100% sold yet, but if they do make the Avogadro, obviously I think they're going to make it look a lot better than the Black Ops 2 version. Like, everything's obviously going to be remastered. Like, even like Blood of the Dead, you think about Brutus, he got kind of an upgrade from the Black Ops 2 version. But that's it. Like I said, the truck for me is pretty convincing. Nobody can try and tell me it does or doesn't. The Avogadro, on the other hand, like I said, I'm slightly convinced, but I just kind of found it in a room on our multiplayer map, but I forget what it's called. But I'll have to comment it if anybody asks. Anyways, that's it for now. There should be a third part. Like I said, I did find some other things, but I just figured I'd do this one really quickly, and then I'll make a third video. Alright, I'll see you guys later.